Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you 5 fundamental self-defense skills that are based in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Before we go on and do the physical skills, I want to remind you of 4 essential ingredients that can improve your self-defense immediately. Number 1, having the right mindset. You need to have the mindset that you are worth defending and you'll do whatever it takes to keep yourself free from harm. 2, you have to have a commitment to being aware. Increasing your awareness on the street, what's influencing you, and listening to your intuition. Number 3, exuding confidence. How do we become more confident? It's through our body language, through our physical training. What do we do every day that makes us more confident? And number 4, having a plan of action, hoping that we never need to execute it, but knowing that if we needed to, we would be able to execute a plan. And that involves knowing our boundaries and also being able to use our voice. So now we're going to go on to the physical skills. Before we move our bodies a lot, we're going to practice some standing positions. So I'd like you to stand up nice and tall, press your feet into the floor, and bring your hands by your side. This is standing position number 1. This is the position of focus. From here, our eyes are forward, our ears are forward, and we are ready to learn. Now we're going to step one of our feet forward, and we're going to tuck our chin, and we're going to make 2 fists. We're going to bring the fists above our chin and below our eyes. This is standing position number 2, the position of courage. Now we're going to step our foot back, and we're going to have a wide stance. Our feet are wide, our chest is up, our hands are behind our back. This is standing position number 3, the position of confidence. Here we have relaxed awareness. We know what's going on around us, we can see, and we are exuding confidence. So let's review. Standing position number 1, the position of focus. Standing position number 2, the position of courage. And standing position number 3, the position of confidence. Nice work. So now we're going to do some jumping jacks just to warm up our body and release any tension. These martial artists are going to do 10 regular jumping jacks. So I just want you to move your body. You don't have to count them out. But if you'd like to, get 10 regular jumping jacks in. Nice, long, relaxed arms. We say arms like spaghetti. After the 10th one, we're going to go into something called the cross jack. From here, we're going to cross our arms in front of us and we're going to cross our feet. This helps develop our coordination. We're increasing our heart rate. We're warming up and we're letting go of any tension or stress that we might be holding in our bodies and our minds. This is helping us become more confident, become stronger, and also prepare for taking in more information up ahead. And lastly, we're going to do something called the switch jack. This is opposite arm and opposite leg, almost like you're walking down the street. You're swinging your arms, nice and relaxed. Keep going, only a couple more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. So now we're going to go into our first skill of the day, and this skill involves maintaining the distance. The person who controls the distance controls the outcome. As they step forward, we want to make sure that we're stepping back and we're extending our arm out. This is called a personal fence. And here's a great time to be using your voice. Let the person know that they're entering into your boundary and you're going to be clear about telling them this is not acceptable. So practice using your voice and stepping back. So if things were to get a little bit closer, we want to make sure that we have a good base of support. Now the person on the left, or the bully in this case, is going to come up and she's going to take 2 hands and she's going to pull the opposite person's arm. Now the person who's defending is going to lower their level, bend their knees, and drop down and get a good base of support. Notice how she's keeping her eyes on the bully. She's not looking down and she's just doing enough to get the job done. If the bully were to release, she's not going to do a backflip backwards and fall down. So she's just practicing being stable. So I'd like you to pause the video and do 5 pull base, which is when the training partner pulls your arm, for each person. Like what you're learning already? Don't forget to hit the like button down below. Now we're moving on to the next skill, which is breaking somebody's grip from our arm. So So step 1 is base. 2, we're going to make a fist and we're going to face the fist towards the ceiling. 3, we're going to reach over and grab our own fist. And 4, we're going to pull, breaking their grip. One is base, 2 is fist. Make sure the fist faces the ceiling. 3, you're going to reach over with that left arm and grab your own knuckles. And from here, you're going to break the grip by pulling your fist to your opposite shoulder. Make sure you don't pull your fist towards your face. That's pretty logical, but I've seen it happen. And then we're going to step back with that arm extended. Ideally, you want to be saying stop or I don't know this person. One is base, 2 is fist, 3 is reach over the top, and 4 is pull. Do your 5 repetitions each, and when you're done, come back and restart the video. Now we're going to go a step further and we're going to practice an open hand slap that is geared towards striking somebody's ear. This is if they're really closing the distance and you need to make some space and get away. So from here, we're standing one leg forward, one leg back, and when we're slapping, we have an open hand, and notice how she's pivoting on the back foot. Don't take your eyes off the target. So I'd like you to pause the video and do 5 super slaps with your right arm and 5 super slaps with your left arm. The 3 takeaways to this skill are 1, having an open hand and a relaxed arm. 2, pivoting your back foot so that your arm can swing through the target. 3, keeping your eyes forward and never taking your eyes off your target. Now we're going to add this slapping skill to our breaking grip scenario. Bully, I'd like you to step forward and you're going to give your training partner a pull. Your 2 hands are going to pull their arm. So 1 is base, 2 is fist, 3 is reach, 4 is pull. We step back with the personal fence, and now Bully, you're going to step forward. From here, we're going to execute the super slap, but we're not going to aim towards their ear. We're going to calmly aim towards their shoulder. 1 is base, 2 is fist, 3 is reach, 4 is pull. Step back, personal fence. They start closing the distance. Nice, relaxed arm, super slap to their shoulder. In real life, it would be the ear. 1 is base, 2 is fist, 3 is reach, 4 is pull. Stepping back, and the super slap as if you're going right through the target. Work with your training partner. You got 5 reps for each of you, and I'll see you when you get back. Now we're going to move on to skill number 2, and that is how to get up safely from the ground without turning your back to somebody. So let's say you're sitting down and minding your own business and somebody comes into your personal space. Would it be good to turn around on your hands and knees and crawl away? I don't think so. We want to be able to stand up without turning our back. Let's look at this. She's going to post her right hand on the floor, her left hand's defending her head. She's going to extend her right leg. Then her foot goes behind her hand and she stands back up. We want to make sure that we stand up sort of quickly so we don't get caught in a vulnerable position. So let's do this together. We're seated, we have our right hand posted, and now we're going to bring our left hand up and defend our head. From here, we're going to extend our right leg out and place our foot on our training partner's shin. Don't kick them. Obviously, if we needed to, we could, but we're not going to kick our training partner. Then our belly button faces the floor, and we put our foot behind our hand, and we stand back up. So we're going to post the right hand, defend with the left, extend the right leg, the hips are up, our belly button faces the floor, our foot goes behind our hand, and we stand up without ever turning our back towards this person. One more time. Post with the right hand, defend with the left, extend the right leg out. Now, if you didn't like them, you could kick their knee, which is what she's going to show you here, nice and light, but in reality, don't kick anybody's knee unless you need to. Belly button towards the floor, foot behind the hand, and we stand back up. So I'd like you to pause the video and do this 5 times with your training partner. Each of you get 5 repetitions in, and then come back. So far, we've looked at how to maintain the distance, use our voice, and break somebody's grips if they were to grab us. Now we're going to move down to the ground and look at a situation where somebody's seated on top of us. This can be awkward and uncomfortable, but it's better to be doing it at home and practicing with somebody we know than having to deal with this outside. There's a saying, there's no comfort in the growth zone and no growth in the comfort zone. So before we move on to the actual skill, let's look at the fundamental movement that makes this skill work. It's utilizing the power of our hips. The hips are the strongest part of the physical body for humans. So I'd like you to lay on your back and you're going to bring your heels up towards your rear end, and I'd like you to get your hips up in the air. Notice how she's got her hips up and she's bridging and reaching with the opposite arm. Even if you don't reach, it doesn't matter. Just getting your hips up in the air is effective. So here's a position we don't want to be in. Somebody's seated on top of you, sitting on your abdomen, your legs are straight and your arms are straight. Immediately, one must start bending their knees and bending their arms so they can create much more leverage. For the purpose of this drill, I would really like the bully, the person who's playing the bully, to sit on top of your friend, your training partner, but put all the weight in your knees and your feet so you're not crushing their abdomen, so that they can move underneath you and get a feeling for how this technique works. All right, so now that we know what we're doing, the person on top is seated in this mounted position, you're kneeling on the ground, and you're supporting your own body weight. Person on the bottom, your knees are bent and your hands are up. We want to make sure that you're protecting your head. Step 1, we're going to take your knee and you're going to nudge them forward, which forces them to put their hands down. Step 2, your left arm is going to reach inside and weave around their right arm. I'd like you to pull your elbow to your side and trap their arm. Step 3, your left foot, the same side as the arm, is going to step over their foot and trap their foot. And from here, you're going to practice the bridge, and by using your hips, getting your hips up high in the air, you're going to topple them off their base of support and take them over. One, you're going to take your knee, you're going to bump them forward, forcing them to put their hands down on the mat. If their hands are down on the ground, they can't strike you, and you can also start trapping them. 2, you're going to weave your arm from the inside, and you're going to trap their arm. So almost like you're holding a clutch purse under your arm, and you're pulling your elbow into your side. Person on the top, the bully, I'd like you to be relaxed if you can with your body. 3, you're going to take your foot on the same side and you're going to step over their foot. Even if they're bigger than you, you can still get your foot over that side, and that works. And step 4, you're going to practice that bridge by getting your hips up in the air, pushing into your feet, lifting your hips, lifting your heels, and rolling them right over. And from this position, you wind up in the top position, and you want to get up and you want to get out of there as quickly as possible. So this is called the trap and roll. 1 is bump. 2, trap the arm. 3, trap the foot for bridge, and then get up and get out of there. One, bump them forward. 2, reach inside and trap that arm. 3, trap the foot. And now 4, bridging, toppling them over, getting your face out of there, up and out of the way. Pause the video and do this 5 times with your training partner. You could go back and forth one for one, or each one of you does 5 times in a row. And when you're done with that, come back and we'll show you another skill from the ground. The bully is seated in front of us, and they're seated on their shins and their rear end is on their heels. The person who's doing the skill is laying on their back and their legs are crossed behind the bully's back. Notice how she's got her feet crossed. So if you've never done jiu-jitsu, this might be extremely weird. So like all things in life, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So I'd like you to try to get comfortable being uncomfortable so we can move from the bottom position to the top position. So step 1, the person on the bottom is going to unlock their feet and place them on the ground. 2, she's going to imagine that she has a volleyball in her hand. She's going to reach over with that volleyball and imagine that she's throwing it over the bully's shoulder and coming all the way up onto her left hand, not on her left elbow. That throwing action gives her the momentum to get up. From here, the right arm's going to grip the elbow. She's going to put her weight in her feet, get her hips up off the ground, and now relaxed. She's going to bump her left kneecap towards the ground, toppling the training partner over, the bully over, and ending up in this mounted position. So much better position than being on the bottom. Back. 1, unlock your feet. 2, reach out, grab that volleyball, and imagine that you're throwing it way over the bully's shoulder, giving you the momentum to come up onto your left hand and post your left hand behind you, getting your head up towards the bully's head. 3, you're going to grab their elbow and get your hips up off the ground. The hips are doing all the work here. We're not trying to move anybody with our arms. And next, we're going to bump them over by putting our left kneecap towards the ground and toppling the training partner or the bully towards the ground. So we're going to look at this a few more times, and then I want you to pause the video and do it with your training partner 5 times each. This skill is designed to topple somebody over who's driving forward, leaning towards you. So if somebody were sitting bolt upright, not leaning forward, we would actually do a different skill. One, unlock the feet. 2, throw the ball. 3, the hips go up. 4, left kneecap to the ground. Do this 5 times with your training partner, and when you're done, come back and we'll show you one final skill. The last skill of the day is what to do if somebody were to come up behind you and grab you. This is not something you can necessarily practice at home unless you have a training partner who knows how to break fall safely and you have mats. I'm going to show it to you so you know what's possible, but I don't recommend practicing it unless you have the right conditions. So 1, the arms go up. 2, the hands go down and the hips go back. 3, you find the ankle and you pull the foot upwards. It's very hard for the person behind to stay gripped to your back and to stay balanced. So they will fall. And if you don't know how to fall safely, it'll definitely hurt your head. In this video, we went over 5 fundamental skills for self-defense, 4 of which I highly recommend you train at home. And the 5th, only train if you have a skilled partner and the right conditions so that they can fall safely. I hope you're feeling more empowered and you have a better idea of what you could do if you needed to defend yourself. I highly recommend that you find a skilled teacher and start training martial arts regularly. I recommend Brazilian Jiu Jitsu as it's one of the most effective forms of self-defense on the planet. The ultimate aim of the martial arts is not having to use them. Thank you so much for watching. I'm super honored to share this information with you. And if you got some value and you're feeling the benefits, please share the video with somebody you know. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe today with the notifications on. See you soon.